Hey, welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel, we just talk about all things dealing with astrology. We've been going over the Jupiter placements, and so today we're going to talk about Jupiter and Gemini, which, this video may be overdue, but we're here and we know that that is the most important thing. So if you go to Google and type in free birth chart calculator, it'll bring up several different websites, and you can just type in your birthday, time, and place, and it'll bring up your specific birth chart. So you'll see what every planet of yours is, as well as every house, your angles, all of that good stuff that we be diving into over here. So let's say you do all of that and you find out that you are a Jupiter and Gemini, or you do it for some of your friends, your family, significant others, so on and so forth, and you find out they are Jupiter and Gemini, this is still the video for you. Or if you just like learning about the different planets and different signs. I mean, I find it interesting, but yeah. So if you have Jupiter and Gemini, one of the things that you may do is try to learn as much as possible. Jupiter is about doing a lot, and Gemini is about learning. And when I say Jupiter is about doing a lot, we know it definitely means more than that. It's just expands things. So yeah. Um, these people may like to communicate. They can have very active minds, but may not know exactly how to get, the things that's going on in their minds to come out their mouth. So, like if you come in talking to them, they may can carry on a conversation very well, but some of the things that they say may come off in a way that they don't necessarily mean, because it's just trying to get it from here out here to your here. So, yeah, and if you're not looking at the phone, computer, laptop, tablet, I'm pointing at my ear, head, mouth, ear. But y'all probably didn't even care about that, to be honest. But yeah, so they like to communicate and they like to learn. They have a very active mind, but sometimes their mind is just so active that they can't get everything out the way that they plan to. Um, Jupiter is in its detriment, so it is weak. Gemini is opposite of Sagittarius. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so it does not like being in the opposite sign. It kind of feels constrained a little bit. And also, while looking at Jupiter in Gemini, since Gemini is ruled by Mercury, we'll have to look at where Mercury is in the chart and what that is doing. So if Mercury is in like Virgo or something, Mercury is still doing very well. So that will give Jupiter more room to move around. But like, let's say if Mercury is in Sagittarius, the Mercury is just as weak as the Jupiter at this point. So that could definitely make communications very hard. But if the Mercury is in Virgo, that may help the Jupiter and Gemini to communicate a little bit better. So do look at those placements and also see if the Jupiter itself is squaring or, squaring any like Saturn or Mars, or if it's opposite any of those, have any kind of harsh aspects to any of these planets. So yeah, when you're looking at whatever sign that the planet is in, you also got to look at the planet that rules that sign to see how the other planet is going to act. And I really hope that I explained that correctly, and I hope that I did not confuse anyone. Yeah. These people can be very intelligent because, like we were saying earlier, Gemini likes to learn. Jupiter will expand that. So you may want to learn a lot of different things, which is not out of the ordinary for Gemini placements. You might need to focus more and use your knowledge constructively instead of destructively. So all of those thoughts that's going on in a Jupiter and Gemini mind, just think about it. Gemini deals with the mind. And with Jupiter in this placement, give these people a little grace, okay? They have a lot, they can have 50, 11 things going on in their heads right now, and they're trying to say something about one. But yeah, if you do have this placement, try to do something to help you to focus. Do you have ADHD? I don't know. It's a possibility. Just saying. But just try to do something to where you can stay focused. And I get it, it might not be something that you can do 25/8, but it's possible most of the time. Um, these people are usually open minded. So if you bring a new idea to them, they're not going to be so quick to shut it down. They'll be like, I never looked at it from that point of view. And who knows, they can dive into, you know, a rabbit hole of whatever you just told them. And then they can come back to you and be like, did you know this part about it and that part about it and so on and so forth? So on and so forth. But because now they're so interested in it because you just open them up to something they didn't even know about. These people like to learn things that are practical, something they can use in their lives. So like learning a new language, learning something dealing with programming, um, maybe even how to, grow their own food or something that they can use, something that makes sense because they would prefer to do something that makes sense to them because if they don't understand it, of course, they're going to come with more questions and have to look further into it so that they can get a better understanding of whatever it is that is the topic at hand. These people can come off detached, but Gemini is an air sign. So, depending on if this person has a lot of planets in air signs or in like Gemini, they can definitely come off super detached. Not saying that air signs are just, emotionless. They just don't show it the way other signs might. um, they might not know when to be serious or when to be quiet because, you know, Gemini can be a trickster, likes to joke and a good laugh. So they may make a couple of inappropriate jokes. Well, not even just inappropriate jokes. They might just make jokes at the wrong time. If there's a serious situation going on and they might be the person to say something random like that's what she said and it's just not necessarily the place for that. That could definitely be a Jupiter and Gemini. Or they could just feel like they have to keep talking until somebody stops them because they don't necessarily know when to stop. You might have to help them, like, hey, close your mouth a little bit. You might need to tell them something like that. These people also might have a hard time committing to one idea. That goes back to the active minds that they have. So 50, 11 things going on and trying to get them to commit to one for an extended amount of time might be a hard task. But let me know how that goes for you. And again, if they have more planets in like earth signs or something, it might be easier for them. But if they have like a lot of planets in like Gemini for one and Sagittarius or Aries, they can be very quick to just act on whatever they're thinking about at that moment instead of sticking to just one specific thing because their minds are just on go the majority of the time. Some careers that will be good for this placement are people who do something with reading, writing, the media, um, stuff dealing with the mind. And oh yeah, trades. Like some kind of trade that you do with your hands because, Gemini and hands go hand in hand. That was a little corny, but I liked it at the time. So yeah. Um, these people can get lucky through school friends, even if they're no longer in school, maybe friends that they made in school. They can get, lucky or blessings from these people or from like having small talk. So if you go to the store one day and somebody is looking at an item and you're like, oh, I use that item, blah, 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 like just a little small talk with the person. And they might be like, oh, you actually like this? And you're like, yeah. And like, you know what? I'm going to buy this for you or something like that. Not saying that if you have this placement, just start going to random people talking to them in the store and say, oh, I use that, hoping they're going to buy it for you. Then you're going to probably get your feelings hurt. But I don't want to tell you that. Too late, I already did. Anyway, so if you do have Jupiter in Gemini, I want to know what you did resonate with and what you did not. And what do you feel like I might have left out? Thank you for watching. Have a good one.